What is up guys, how are you doing? So, I've spent 2 weeks with this phone, the Microsoft Lumia 950 XL, and now I have impressions for you. I'm doing 5 things I loved about the Microsoft Lumia 950 XL whilst I used it for 2 weeks. And surprisingly, this list didn't take too long to make, because I thought it would be quite hard, but it wasn't, so great, let's get into it. Numero uno is the monthly updates. Now, granted, they kind of ever so slightly don't work currently, but the idea of the monthly updates is great. Now, the issue I have with the monthly updates, ironically, is solved by the monthly update I'm trying to install. But hey, it happens. But the fact that, like Windows 10, it's constantly being refined is amazing. Unlike Android and iOS, which comes out with one massive update kind of once a year, this is consistently being worked on. And if you want to be really ahead of the curve, you can join the Windows Insider, and just like you would for your PC, get beta and alpha builds for your phone. Number 2 is hard to explain without just showing you, so allow me to do so. So this is the 950 XL, and there's something about being able to, do that and then take this out, the removable battery. It is the fastest form, believe it or not, of charging a phone, because you just stick in a new battery and you're good to go. And unlike something like this, my Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge, if the battery dies, you just buy a new one for £10 and stick it in. And that also kind of snowballs into a removable back as well, because if you break this, you can just replace it. You can see the NFC that's kind of built in there, right? Very cool. And it's just the idea of a removable back. I loved it on my S3. I loved it on my OnePlus One, and I love it on this as well. Unfortunately, the fact that it's white does make it feel slightly cheap in my opinion, but hey, whatever. You can get, you can go on the Microsoft store and get leather ones if you want. So you're spoiled for choice. Don't worry about that one. Number 3 is one that surprised me as much as anyone else I expected to surprise, and that's actually the built-in software. Now, the Microsoft Maps are actually surprisingly good, offering things like telling you what the stop before where you're getting off and the stop after where you're getting off. If you're taking the train, for example, which in central London is very popular, the London Underground, so it tells you what the stop before and the stop after is, so that you kind of know roughly where you're supposed to be, as well as the exact location. So if you get the name of one of the stops, you still have the other 2 to kind of figure it out. On top of that, the keyboard is also really good. I'm someone who uses SwiftKey because I have a very particular taste in my keyboard, whether it be aesthetic or the way it works. And the thing I like most is the little triangle, the little dot thing, and the old track balls that used to be on laptops? It's basically one of those, just on your phone. Number 4 has to be Windows Hello. Now this is something I use on the Surface a lot, the Surface which is actually currently right under the camera. It has my 5 little bullet points for reminding me what I'm talking about. And I use it on that all the time. You kind of look at it and it unlocks. It's magical. And this has a similar thing, but on a slightly smaller scale. But it works and it's great. It's useful for unlocking your phone in a pinch, whether you be not wanting to unlock it in public for whatever reason or whatever. It's like a fingerprint scanner, but it's not, is basically it. And you don't have to hold it ridiculously close to your face, which is good as well, because it specifically scans your eyes. So you kind of hold it at roughly arm's length. I'm not sure how well you're getting this. And it can pick it up from here-ish actually, depending on how well lit it is. And then at worst, it gets to about here. And then, here is actually physically too close. So anyone who's like, oh my god, I need to do this to unlock my phone, is completely lying to you. Imagine doing that, right? Snapdragon have their integrated fingerprint scanner on the screen, which is something they announced, and you just kind of go, I'm unlocking my phone, I'm just using my nose. And number 5, something that has really grown on me over the last 2 weeks, something that sort of initially I was a bit skeptical about, and over the course of the 2 weeks I've sort of slowly begun to like it, is the launcher and the general aesthetic of Windows Phone 10. The issue I had with it at first was they were all square and it felt too constrained, and to some extent it still is. I still like having my logos kind of being all different shapes and sizes, but it's less of a pet peeve as time has gone on. It's something that gives that level of kind of productivity almost. It looks like it's there to do serious business, and as a Windows phone there is a 99% chance that that is all you are there to do. And sure, the launcher itself looks good, but so do the pre-built apps. Store and calendar and all of the mail. It looks like it's being lifted straight from your desktop version of Windows 10, believe it or not. And the full Office? That's great in itself, right? You have Office on the go with Continuum, something I unfortunately haven't had a chance to test out, but I would absolutely love to, just in case Microsoft wants to send me another phone to review, this time with the dock thingy, so I can test Continuum as well. Anyway guys, those are the 5 things I really loved about this phone. If you liked the video, make sure to hit like. If you want to see the previous video, click up here, which is the dbrand skin and giveaway, which is currently running, so go enter it. Click up here to see a random video. Tomorrow you'll see the 5 things I disliked about this phone. So if you want to fuel the fire that is Windows Phone hate, make sure to check back tomorrow. Sorry for disappointing, I guess. Make sure to subscribe to see more videos like this one, and I'll see you all next time.